The Heritage Action Zone is right up the middle of what we're trying to do in the city centre. You know, as Sunderland has grown, the city centre has suffered with a lack of investment, and we have a series of very, very historical buildings that need to be protected while we build new homes, new office space and new retail spaces. The council can't do all of this on its own. You know, it has a responsibility to take leadership within the city centre, but it has to work across broad partnerships which include not only the public sector but also the private sector. So we need to see, you know, a menu of investment happening.
So the investment in Mackie's Corner through the has absolutely transformed the buildings. You know, we were quite fortunate to begin the has and that Alex and Henry Curtly acquired the buildings, and we were able to work with them to develop the project from the very outset of the has to the project development phases and assisting the Curtlys in securing funding from Historic England, to appoint an architects team, to do an awful lot of, do a full package of project development work, including a condition survey which identified the defects with the building. All that information and work was used to inform a grant application, and we were pleased to be able to award Alex and Henry Curtly with the grant of £350,000 to comprehensively repair and restore the building.
The funding was transferred to something called a partnership scheme, which allowed us to look more wider at the envelope of the building, to allow us to then look at rejuvenating, and for Historic England's money to go further in allowing the shop fronts to be part of that rather than just urgent repairs, and also repairs to the windows, so that it helps, yes, it conserves the building, so that we now have a Mackie's Corner back how it used to be, which is fantastic, but also more importantly, or equally as importantly, is the fact that it's given it the uses that it needs to guarantee its future.
I would say the impact that it's had on us as an investor and owner of the building, the has, is it's been great to work with loads of different people that we would have never worked with before, and we've really enjoyed the experience, but it's also been a very, very big learning curve for us. I would say it's really nice to learn about the building, things that we would have never have known. You know, there's been research done on the tiles, on the coving, on the, you know, where they were sourced from, and there's a lot of that is really interesting.
The partnership that has helped steer the Heritage Action Zone has delivered this. It's not been one individual, any of us, it's been a partnership, and we hope that that can continue as the future progresses on the restoration and conservation of historic buildings in Sunderland.
There has definitely been challenges with the processes, the funding processes, which I know have been simplified with the new High Street HASs. Obviously funding is allocated at the outset through the HAS, but it was quite onerous process to go through to secure that funding. You have to put separate grant applications into Historic England, so that has involved a lot of work, and that has been quite challenging. But we've overcome all those problems, you know, and it has, I would say, been a resounding success. I was probably quite sceptical at the beginning because it was such a new thing and we weren't sure how it was going to go. So I think we've all been incredibly pleased how we've overcome the challenge, and it's been such a success.